Happy Frigg's Day. It's time to speak about Fehu. Now, if you've been following my Runic Journey, you'll know that the last rune I drew from my bag, which was the last rune in my bag, was Fehu. I am missing a rune. That's for the coming week. And as it's my last physical rune, it seems very pertinent that as I started looking it up in the books I have and online, I look at what it represents and compare it to the last couple of days, even the last weeks, or even months since I started this Runic Journey, that there's a lot of logical application to accepting and being grateful for Fehu being this last rune at this stage and what it represents. It's almost like, in particular, the last 3 weeks with Ansu's, Taiwaz, now Fehu, they create this. They create a symbology that I can laugh at from a personal level, from experiences I had at the Valhalla Viking festival last weekend, where very much so, perhaps almost in anticipation of Fehu, I was doing my best to share information, sharing, to a degree, my prosperity. Not necessarily physical, hard cash, wealth, as Fehu represents on one level. More perhaps the sharing and being amongst others, sharing their sort of spiritual wealth. So in particular, there were some things happening at the Valhalla Viking festival that were outstanding to see. Some of them were things I was able to witness in people close to me, and developing a growing bond and spirituality, which is great, as well as sort of being able to step back to some degree on my part. It's not all about me, as well as making progression myself. And that's really continued into this week, especially since Wednesday on Odin's Day, gaining Fehu and binding to it, that in some ways feeling unfettered to answer a calling, or not necessarily a calling, but offering to talk about my experiences and apply them in a way that perhaps I may be able to help other people. It seems very much a flip side of a coin between the dynamic of Friday of Fehu, associations with Freya or Frigg, and I'll always lean towards Frigg, and I'm doing my best to be more open to Freya, and what that represents in itself, while not sort of overlooking or forgetting about Odin in particular. It's juggling many balls of purpose. I would say I feel good. Positive. There is, I should say, a certain personal satisfaction in doing what you can if it helps people, because it's the right thing to do. Spent a lot of time last weekend talking about we are our deeds and building Frith and the basic principles of Asatru, sort of being along the lines of it's our duty to be good hosts, and in turn hosts and guests be a good guest, and in that way we create this tradition of hospitality, and that works on all levels of life and the faith, etc. That it's, I felt it becoming more and more central, saying those things, and how you apply that to the different levels, because it's not just me talking to other people, it's how I treat with land vetir, with ancestors, how I sort of commune or treat with the gods. Each of these circumstances are opportunities to be a good guest, to be a good host, to build Frith. And another line to that is that life is to be enjoyed, and we do our best to enjoy it for ourselves, but to help others enjoy their lives. And sometimes that might involve dealing with some unpleasant things, and yet it brings us back around to Fehu, where the guide is there to stand by your friends, your allies, that you stand together through thick and thin, and you have each other's backs. And it's also a way of generating sort of Frith. It doesn't have to mean that you're standing in conflict against something. Not all conflict requires enemies, or not all problems have sort of an opponent, so much as sometimes you just have to have someone's back and work to fix a problem. And it can be as simple as providing a little bit of insight that you yourself, even if you can see it, you might not understand. You just need that friendly voice to offer a different perspective, and in that way a problem can be solved, hopefully. I feel very positive at the moment. Just about to go away, camp for the weekend for a moot, and I'm hoping that this generosity of Fehu continues, and we move forward. I feel positive, and I am hoping that I can share that with other people, because life is there to be enjoyed. So on that positive note, I will leave it there and look forward to speaking to you about conclusions about Fehu on Tuesday, on Tears Day. So until then, thank you for watching the video. Do subscribe, do press like, do comment, and take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Cheers. Goodbye.